Welcome back to the next video. So we will be continuing on with integrating Redis with NextJS. So in this video what I will do is I will show you how to integrate server action with Redis. So I have created this small sign up page for our app. Also I will be continuing on from our last video. So in our last video of Redis, I have of Redis with NextJS, I have already shown you how to integrate Redis with NextJS, and we will be building on top of that. So if you haven't watched that video, do watch that video first. So first I will enter some name. It takes a username and password, like the UI is not good, and once you click on the create, it creates a user for us and saves it into Redis, as well as it saves the session as well to Redis, and we are saving the session details inside a cookie. So I will show you that as well. So if I go to storage, I will go to cookies. Now I have already this cookie, I will just delete it. Also, if you notice that this cookie is if you see the values for it, this is encrypted, like these are not easily available. I mean, not really encrypted, but you see it is like I'm storing a JSON stringify data, that's why it is not in proper. So if the key is amongst you might be able to see the ID. I mean, it is not exactly encrypted, sorry about that. And here you can see the user ID, those kind of details. So I will just delete this, okay, and I will create a new user. I will just create it Rohit. The username and the password is Sharma. I'll click on create. It created a loading state, and here you can see on the index page it is printing out the ID, user ID, as well as the username. And if you see inside session, inside cookie we are able to store the cookie. The name is session, but you can give whatever name you want, and here we are storing it. So let's see how to do that. So first you have to go to keys.ts. so here you can see I have created inside services, I have created this keys.ts, and here I have added one for user keys as well as one for session keys. Okay, pretty simple, both take an ID. Next we have created inside utils, I have created a folder called utils. So if you go over here, I have created one file called generate an ID. So this will help us to generate a random ID for us. Okay, and another class to hashing a password. So once the user creates a password, it is hashed and then it is only stored inside the Redis database. Okay, so this is the code for it. Next I have inside types.ts. so if you go to types.ts, here you can see I have created a create user attribute, so which takes a username, password, as well as session interface as well, which takes an ID, user ID, as well as a username. So let's go to user.ts. so this file over here. So here you can see I have created a few methods. First it's get user by username. I have not I have not written any implementation for it. Second is get user by ID. So here you can see we are using the Redis client and we are doing edge get all to get the user by ID. And if you see if you remember, we have created this users key right inside the keys file, and here we are just deserializing, and the logic for serializing and deserializing is pretty simple. And here we are creating our user. So this is how we are creating an ID and then doing it set. Okay, so this is done. Then go to session. So here I have created a session as well. So this is for getting a session. So again we are doing edge get all, get a session by its ID, and if it is null, then if the like the Redis database does not automatically gives you null. If the object is empty or length is 0, then we return null, otherwise we return deserialized data. Similarly for save session as well, for saving the session we require a key, and this is our serialized data, but we have to convert it into this format, like convert the serialized object into an array of alternating field values. This is how it accepts it, and here is logic, like simple logic for serializing and deserializing as well. Next we have to so here inside sign up I have created page.tsx as well as, so here you can see I am using use form state, that's why I have to mark this as use client. And this is our server action. So I have created our server action. Inside the actions index.ts. So I will come back to that in a while. And here this is a message which will help us to just tell if something goes wrong on the server actions part. And here you can see I have just taken an username as well as password input, and here I have just created a button type of submit, and I have applied that action to our form. Next, for our loading, we can't directly use that loading inside this component. We have to create a separate component. I have already covered this in one of my NextJS tutorials, so if you have more questions on that, you can watch that. So here you can see use form status. You can't directly use that inside sign up, otherwise you won't see this. So here I'm just showing this loading once the user clicks on submit. And if you go to server actions, here you can see I have created a sign up method, which takes a username as well as a password, and here I have just added some validation for username and password. Then I am creating a salt hash for our password, and then here we are calling the create user method. I'm passing the username, password. Here we are saving our session, and from that I'm getting the session. Okay, and once I get a session, I'm setting it inside cookies, and I'm doing this secure true so that it only works on HTTPS. Even though this is URL, I think localhost is an exception for that. And once everything is done, we are redirecting back to the main index page. Again, this redirect should not be over here, otherwise you will get an error. It should be outside try catch. So yeah, and if you go inside index page, like don't worry about this, like this is from my previous video. I should just remove this. Here you can see I'm getting cookies, and if there are any values, I'm just printing it to the console. Later on you can do a JSON parse as well if you want to. So if you see my index page, these values are all printed. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.